The blended intensive programs, they must have something innovative in their content. And the first thing that is innovative, that it's international. But we will talk about students later. I would like now to give the floor to my colleagues who are teacher and administrative staff, Nadezhda Konstantinova and Veliko, and they participated in one such program which was for staff. I think for you this also will be very interesting because this is like our staff week, only it is much more difficult, a bigger challenge for those who participate. They will comment, visit the textbooks that they were given for the staff week, specifically designed for the staff week. So they will talk about this now. I would like to give them the floor. So you can come here. Може да ще тук. Ами някой трябва да контролира моя презентация. Аз трябва да ида да свърша една друга работа и се връщам след малко. Okay, so I just have to pick up my stuff upstairs and I'm just coming in a minute.
So, hello everybody. My name is Cyril and a colleague of mine, Nadia, as we were presented from our colleague in the International Department. So, first of all, I'm glad to see all of us. I hope that you enjoy our presentation. I want to stick to this because to my mind, I want to communicate with you. I treat you like I'm from the business. I want to sell you the idea to join, to participate in such kind of a program. To my mind, if in the end of the lesson, because it's like a lesson, you know, it will be successful if you want to join such kind of program, blended intensive. And first of all, I want to ask you some questions to get in communication with you. Because if you are just listeners, it's not good. So, I have a serious part, but I won't rely on this. I won't rely on you, the communication with you, because in Romania, I fell in love in the place. I fell in love in the colleagues of you because she's from Romania. I'm glad that I had the chance to meet person from there. Because I fell in love in the people who took the idea how important are blended intensive programs. So, first of all, I want to ask you something. What do you think when you hear globalization? What's the first in your mind? You?
Internationalization. It's a connection with the people, you could say.
Yes.
All around the world, yes.
Yes.
Getting together with the people in different parts of the world.
Yes,
like,
yes,
okay,
yes.
like this.
Hello. Hi. Nice to see you because I remembered you. The first emotion when I saw you were your smiles.
Yes.
So
yes.
I remembered you with your smiles.
Yes.
So, do you know what I'm doing with you now? I'm selling you the idea of the blended intensive program. In Erasmus, no matter how you call it, blended intensive or Erasmus, the point is to get to more people clear information. But first of all, we should have higher education. First is globalization. So, what's the meaning? When I heard for first time globalization, what I saw in my mind. I saw many universities, many students, we met colleagues from Poland, from Finland. Nadia helped me with the universities who took part. United States, Bulgaria, Turkey, universities in all over the world. Different kind of jobs. People who communicate by different devices. So, what is really globalization? Tell me.
The first time I heard the word globalization, it was on secondary school when a teacher advised us to read, a sociology teacher,
Yes?
advised us to read a book from Anthony Giddens that is called The World in the Era of Globalization.
Yes.
And it was like an opening of my sea of the world, because he explains very well how the different people from different cultures will learn from each other.
Say it louder. Different cultures.
Yes, learn from each other, and they can live in another way, more open,
Yes.
by learning from each other. But also they lose a lot of things that they had before, and sometimes they reject their own cultures because of the globalization. So it has a good part and a bad part, as this author said in the book. I advise you.
I catch up the attention on the world, culture, religion, different habits, linguistic habits, I mean. Do you get my point? So, what is the next part? Which is, how to say, the essence of the credit intensive programs. It is difficult to pronounce the word, so we may just use the shortcut, internationalization. Just say inter. So, what do you mean about, what do you feel when you hear for first time internalization? You?
I wanted to give another example for globalization.
For globalization, okay.
I am a designer, so it is a globalization for us. It is maybe when we want to make a pencil,
Yes.
we will buy a wood for another country and made
Don't be afraid, my English is the same. You know that I get nervous sometimes. So the proper is just not to focus on the words, just get the emotion, what you wanted to say.
and global. It is
Maria, help? Because my English is the same. Come. Pencil, pen. You mean the substance which is on the papers?
yes.
I understood.
One pencil.
Okay, one pencil.
If we want to made it, we will wood
Yes.
for another country, and we will make pencil.
With the paper, sign,
No paper.
paper.
Paper, signature. No paper.
Okay. Yes, most of the people here understand. So, but what you're trying to explain us with the pencil?
Yes, this pencil, it is globalization here. It is we use
Use this thing, you mean?
source of a lot of countries. So we will make a globalization for us. It is maybe made in a country, and this is by another country, and this is made in another country, but it is assembly in
It's a
one-
full body.
Yes, a lot
So
of
we
people
grab
want
from one
to-
side the edge of the pencil, perhaps, and then from the other side the back side of the pencil. So you're writing with the edge of the pencil. And
in translation, maybe you use it is a culture and another language, a lot of language, but it is not culture only. It is if we made another thing, we can use the technology of a country and they made another thing for us in my country and in your country, and we made a collaboration with us to make anything we will.
so we need.
You go cotton here. Yes, and we, but there is maybe Japan don't have a lot of sauce, but this is almost country have a technology and
One and the same thing, but prepared in different ways,
yes,
perhaps.
yes.
And when we speak about internationalization, the point is of exchanging
Yes.
ideas, exchanging practices, and so on. And when we speak about globalization, perhaps the idea is to unify all of them. This is for me the focus, the difference between the two terms. And not to stay on these thematics, perhaps to go on.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
everybody here, we're international people. We live in a global world. We Bulgarians say that the world is like one village. So it is only natural to know many of the people and to know each other and to have different friends, and they have other friends that we don't know but we can acknowledge with them. So the point is of being international and global. And let's see where we went last year, or it was in the beginning of, no, it was last year, yeah. It was in 2022. It was a really charming little place in Romania, Alba Iulia. It's Vicky.
So, in the beginning, I already told you that all of us fell in love in this place. But maybe not only the place, I mean the people. So, I won't tell you, I won't use certain terms. I want to show you the information, the emotion we felt there. So, there we met a really interesting colleague of us. His name is Daniel Milente. Melinte. So, first of all, I want to tell you that he was so eager to share his experience with us, because for several times, not only from you, I heard that he took the idea like his child. I use this because when you have something which is so close to you and you raised it from the beginning, you took it so seriously, so emotional and gentle, pretty gentle. Maybe this is the right word. So Daniel also said in the first lecture, because we have different lecturers on the meetings, and the first one, the opening, he said to us that he grabbed the idea. He didn't know what it's about, but he saw that he should develop this project. So he applied for the foundation of it and then developed it. You know that first you have the idea, sell the idea, and then get the foundation. But he began not from the normal beginning. I mean to sell the idea and then have the money. He first took the money and then he just developed the project.
Sveti, let me interrupt you, and here I would like to thank all
as I'm to speak from the point of the organization of such kind of programs and projects at all. As before coming to the academic world, I used to be a member of a hotel staff, and I managed a lot of events. And believe me, it is really very arduous and hard work to organize and point at the right aim an event. So I would like to admire and to have our applauses for our Erasmus team here with Della, with Sylvia and all our colleagues for their work and for organizing this Erasmus Week. These kind of events are really very arduous to be organized, but having in mind certain aim, it's worth pointing them at a certain place and to get all that international people in a certain place and in Veliko, Tarnovo, and we receive a very special emotion during that kind of event. Yes, it is about the same about the Erasmus weeks, and it's nearly the same about the blended intensive programs which we participated in. It is blended because we gathered there and our colleagues gathered there people from all over the world and from different universities. And it is intensive, and believe me, our program was really an intensive one. Our program was full of different kind of activities, most of them teaching, learning, but the most impressive part was really exchanging practices, exchanging points of view, and exchanging certain vision about developing the international departments of the universities. So that kind of programs, blended intensive programs, are really an excellent platform for that kind of exchange, but not only. It is possible to input a specific idea in them and to develop it and to introduce that idea during these 5 or 6 days, and perhaps this will be our next challenge. And follow us, and perhaps very soon there will be either us or our colleagues from the university will have that kind of blended intensive program here in our university.
So I should say that it was intensive because we start at 9 o'clock a.m. and finish until 6:30 in the evenings. In this round table, and the number of the people was the same from the beginning and from the end. I started with Daniel because he was so eager to talk to us. No matter the level of the speakers, I mean the English level of the speakers. So the lecturers were from the United States, from Poland, from Serbia, from Turkey. You know that all of us speak international English, actually, especially when you are supposed to speak in front of people, so many people from different countries. They used simple words, and the lady who comes from the United States, she was so she felt us closer. Because she was too warm. She started to explain us something for her international department, and when she was using a certain term, she just stopped and asked everybody, "Does everybody understand? Am I speaking slowly or fast? Please interrupt me and continue." To my mind, that's the meaning of every program. No matter it's just Erasmus or it's blended intensive program, but here the focus is to be more intensive. I mean, to have more communication, to share more problems, practices, good or bad, and to get the sense of it.
Nadia, am I losing the focus or not? I felt it in this
It's
way.
okay. I would also again interrupt you with a joke from our experience, of course. There was a lecturer from Poland. Lucas. So Lucas, when we speak with Lucas, he was excellent and fluent in his English, and everyone, when starts to speak with him, he begins with, "Excuse me for my English." So the next one, "Excuse me for my English," and at last he says, "But please, don't excuse for your English. I understand everything. You Bulgarians are very, very interesting people. You always excuse for everything. So please use your English as much as you can and as much as you like. We all understand each other." And we commented this with our colleague from Latvia. Just in the beginning of this event, that the poor English is the most spread one. So we don't speak poor English, we just speak English, and the aim is to understand each other. So this is a kind of each international week or blended intensive program, but the idea is to share and to share emotions, not only ideas. The idea is to share emotion, the emotion of the place, the emotion of the country, the emotion of each one having from different part of the world. That is the idea. And I know your group is going to Triavna today, so you will see another splendid part of our region. This is the moments that stay separately in your mind when you leave our country, and I wish you really a wonderful stay in Triavna and excellent experience there.
It's not Triavna, actually.
So it's about Alba Iulia, but I have to make this clarification to break the ice.
Yes. First of all, in the beginning I told you that we are not stick to the presentation. So I want to pay your attention on the pics. So what is your emotion when you see these pics? Michaela, I know your special attention, but do you see?
I like a home.
Yes. So you used the right word. You felt like a home. So when we were the whole 5 days in Romania, I mean, because one of the points here is venue, the place we were, we felt like a home. I may live with her not only for 5 days, I may live with the colleagues of you, and we were eager to study something in your university. Daniel sent the idea so quickly and fast. And also we felt like this. I mean, with different people who want to exchange knowledge with us, who want to exchange experience with us, who want to share the whole pretty places there in the evenings, because I had already told you that we were eager to go to have another lesson. Do you believe we were really good students? And Teodora Popescu was one of the lecturers there, the guest speakers. Ioana Teodor, just a moment, I saw there. Here, Karl Margraf, Sally Midiamu, the lady I've already told you. She's from the United States, as well as Karl Margraf. Teodora Popescu is from Romania. She is so warm, so touchful with her lessons, despite of the fact that she teaches English. But she managed to get to everyone, no matter how fluent English he or she speaks, no matter. So to my mind, that's the good presentator, that's the best presentator, that's the professionalist. Do you get my point? I would like to emphasize on this. So, and all of us were like this. That's why I'm putting the presentators and the good listeners. So, can you imagine, from 9 to 6 o'clock, we were just like this. I've told you, I want to use text on my presentation because nowadays we are living in a globalization, interiorization, higher education, and how we get the information easily, by pics and emotions. In the beginning, I told you that I am good seller because I sell the idea to get to this blended intensive program. So, continue with the next presentators. Ioana, she was with us every day from Monday to Friday. She was so cozy, so warm, easy to get to her because they weren't afraid to be interrupted during the whole lecture, during the whole lesson. They wanted to communicate with us. I told you to exchange knowledge, to exchange experience, and it was the good part. Lucas, I have special attention to him because first day he just get information for all the participants in the program. I mean, not only the names, habits, what he or she enjoys doing, and on the second day he gave us candies. Do you remember this part? And
Konya.
Da, cognac. Despite of the fact that we are not good at drinking actually. But we were in the same hotel. And Bulgarians, our table was so, how to say it, we were smiling on the evenings, on the mornings. So the Polish in the mornings wanted to join our table, to have a breakfast with us, to continue the lessons with us. In the afternoon it was the same. We mixed up. On the first day we just get information for all of us. And when we get to the hotel, so we were in the foyer, and we were start laughing, exchanging emotions and so on. And Lucas was came and said, "Where's the party? People here," because he was impressed that we were having fun. We were having fun with your colleagues. Please send this message to them.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Actually, Lucas used to come in Romania, I think, once or twice a year.
Really?
Yes, it does.
Because I get how to say the information that he is normally with your university.
Yes, it's like second home.
So,
Yeah, it's true.
do you remember that she said she looks pics of her home? They managed to get us so involved in the whole blended intensive program. That is the purpose of this program. That's why it is intensive or it is also blended, because it gets in you. So we made different workshops, as Nadia told you. Benga, do you remember the game? Should we explain it or we?
Yeah. So the afternoon lessons were primarily full of gaming, any kind of, this is a kind of team building we made, and it was very useful as well as it made us not just sitting behind a round table, but communicate to each other. So it was really, really very precious moment from our blended intensive. And it is a good practice to know and to share and to apply in your blended intensive programs. Have you ever been, each of you, Della shared some experience in front of this lecture that there aren't so much blended intensive programs for staff, and they're mostly for students and teachers perhaps. Have you ever participated in such kind of blended intensive? Perhaps it depends on the organizers. Of course, each event is quite different from any other, and emotion is very different, and it can't be made in a similar way. But I think this practice would be a sustainable one in our academic world, and it should be upgraded, and it should be used really, really more often than from our teams.
So let's continue to the essence of the blended intensive program. So okay. So the Grimsrenjok from the Turkish University, yes. She was so in how to say it, emotional again, inspired. I want to tell that all of the people wanted to communicate, no matter how, no matter the level of the language. I mean, we try to understand, to feel everybody, to feel comfortable to speak. They don't ask, are you a staff or a lecturer? It doesn't matter, because we have the same problems. All of us have families, all of us have kids, and they have the same problems. So, to my mind, it was really precious for us, because in the end of the problem, we really realized that no matter in which country you are, no matter you're a lecturer or a staff, you have the same problems in the university. We are so close to each other, and it's important, the first thing, that in the beginning you should show people that you want to get to know each other. I mean, to be open-minded. No matter your cultural habits are, no matter your religion, how your English is, it doesn't matter. Just if you want to communicate, you use simple words. Because you want to be understood quickly. And you know that the bestseller uses simple words, but no matter how long is my presentation, if I use the right 3 words, you will work with me.
Yes.
Okay.
Surely.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you. So, I begin it, but so quickly. Here's the days. So, I put it on how it was per day. The first day was Sally, Carl. They share experience in their international departments. Carl McGrath, Devin Zeringyok. So they were mixed up during the whole week. I mean, there wasn't a specific program. Lukasz was one of the Ioana was in the afternoons every time, but I put the different speakers actually. Theodora, and again Carl and Theodora, and also Ioana. They were just mixed up. So, continue with the I'm big topics and activities. We also tell you about this. And big opportunities, I like buses. There's always another one coming. To my mind, maybe you may, this sentence get the quick message to you. That you get experience here, meet another people, because the importance here, if you want to get a BIP, you should invite 3 universities. So it's like selling a product. First you have to sell the idea to 3 clients. One of these 3 clients get the idea and sell it to the other 3. And that's the way it works. So I would like to share with you some textbooks, because all of the lecturers were truly were very prepared, and they wanted to stick to these textbooks, but they didn't use it because they wanted to get to us, they want to communicate with us, to get knowledge for the next BIP. That's why I use the sentence BIP is like a bus, there was another one. To sell the idea to the another one. So you may tell your colleagues that we will remember them truly for years, because they sold the idea, we get the emotion. You know that the good seller is to remember during the years. I can truly say that you won't remember what you're wearing yesterday or the previous day, but you will remember your first love because of the emotion. So, I feel in this way. I felt Bulgaria like my first love. I remember it every time. Thank you for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed. And I want to give the lady, because she was there from the globalization, you may choose from this box. And everyone, I want to give you as a gift, if someone is interested in. And to get some knowledge, not informal, but formal. Thank you very much for attention, and I'm
And continue be active in any kind of Erasmus projects, Erasmus programs, and so on, because this is really enriches us as people, as separate persons, and as lecturers and professionals at all. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course, you're
Any
welcome.
question? Do you have question?
Yeah, it's not a question, it's more as a comment or impression. So since you were talking
It's a
about...
compliment. That was my first, actually.
Okay, I would relate to this event, so what you were talking about, to relate to this event. So I was a participant of, let's say, several staff weeks and Erasmus programs. And I can say what was our impression related to this event. There were not a lot of expectations. Okay, we were very happy that we will visit one, let's say, town that is not, let's say, so often on our maps.
You better not expect anything.
Of course, we have our own experiences how we greet guests and participants of the similar events, I can say that this region, let's say the Balkans, and they have a really some kind of warmth and very sincere, how to say, attitude, yes, towards the arrivals and guests. And I can say that really here we felt a lot of things that you were talking about
I
now.
want to thank you now because you get the right information from me.
Yes.
That was the result. That's why I started with the emotion. Because you get it.
Yes, we really felt here such a sincere welcome and such a sincere from a small details, such a desire to please, to greet us, to welcome us, and to feel like at home.
Thank you very
So,
much.
so I just want to congratulate the organizers. It was amazing on every step. We felt what I said, and we had such a great experience. And even, you know, the hosts usually want to create some kind of very effective program with a lot of agenda, you know, but this relaxing program, I think, made us more close, more connected, more interactions. So I really congratulate once more. Thank you so
very
much.
much.
I have to excuse perhaps for the weather, but this is not a point of organization.
May I say something? I never thought that I'm going to come to Veliko Tarnovo and felt so special. You made me feel special, and I never thought that somebody is going to speak about my university other than me. And yes, for me, experience being in Veliko Tarnovo was something very strange, I can say, because I thought I'm going to go to another university small as I am, and I don't know what I'm going to match, but when I saw you, when I felt you, I felt so comfortable, yes. And I had the pleasure to meet people from Albania. I never met somebody from Albania, from Kosovo. It was something great for me. I cannot say about Egypt, Indonesia. I never thought that I'm going to speak with somebody from this country. So it was a big opportunity for me to open my mind. Maybe I met only people from United Europe, but this was a really excellent experience for me.
International one.
Yes, so near of my home, but meeting so much people from all another parts of the world. It was something very special for me. Thank you.
So, no other questions or something to our colleagues?
I'd like to thank to everybody here because I saw that you pay attention and you get the message right. So to my mind, we get the goal. And I hope that you enjoy your visit here, not only because of the place. You remember the place with the people here. I mean the colleagues of mine, and I want to take not only Dela, but I want to take the colleagues I share the whole experience, the colleagues from the economics faculty, also the language department, because we were like a family there. And your colleagues just help us to see it, to feel it. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you the next year again.
Thank you. My colleague Cvetomira, she works for the studies department. We are just working almost next rooms, two consecutive floors. And Nadia is a teacher at our Faculty of Economics, so those who are interested in economics, you can contact her for details. You can invite her, or she can just take interest in some university. So I had to go out for a few minutes, and I'm not sure you exactly understood one point, why I'm very thankful to my colleagues for this presentation. Actually, blended intensive programs are not staff weeks as they are the one we have. And this is why when the University of Alba Iulia asked us to find 10 teachers or administrative staff to participate, and we did several selections, and there were always people giving up their participation, and it was very stressful for me, but finally I'm very happy that the right people went. So the problem is that blended intensive programs are like with a lot of study. So apart from these 5 weeks that they have lectures for a long period of time, so they have at least 7 hours per day of activities, which are studies activities, not like us, this kind of sharing information. They also had 2 or 3, how many times? 2 times, at least 2 times, they had online sessions. So they had one online session for 3 hours before the activity, which was online lecture. And then they had another session of 3 hours after this activity where they were given a task and they reported this task, all of the participants. So normally when we have our staff and teachers, normally when they want to go for a staff week, they want to go for a little, okay, get to know the partners, get to know some other people, get to know a new city, combination of work and fun. But in their case, it looked very difficult program. So a heavy one. So it's amazing actually that with this type of program you have such an emotional outcome, which was with all the participants. So we had only Cvetomira is administrator, the person who she made the presentation, the original presentation. But the others, all the other 9 participants were teachers, teaching staff. At the moment, some of them are on staff week, and I'm very happy that Nadezhda joined us today, because the teachers, they have a little bit of a different viewpoint than administrative people. So I would like to say that when you see a BIP announced somewhere, just expect that it will be a little bit heavier in content, but you can have a very unexpected result. So this is one way to really make friends, because they spend 7 hours in the classroom at least together doing something, doing joint work. So don't be discouraged to participate. Yes?
Sorry, we were a little bit late. I would just want to ask whether that's only reserved for the program countries, or it is something that also partner countries can.
So now my presentation will be about 15 minutes about the theory of the blended intensive programs, and then there is one activity which is designed by our colleague from Edirne, Mehmet, for fun, and then those who didn't take certificates can take their certificates, and a little bit of comments, okay? Okay.
Just quick questions.
To them? Yes.
We saw the next 2023 on October. When the event will be conducted? Where?
So the University of
October
Alba Iulia,
in 2023, if I'm mistaken, the slide.
the activities of Alba Iulia, this university where Mikhail is from, and they are doing a lot of this kind of activities, and you can directly speak to them about it.
Keep in touch.
Okay.
Okay,
The
so
information.
originally at the moment in Europe there are a lot of blended intensive programs, and the majority of them, if not almost all of them, are students. So this activity is continuation of the so-called Erasmus intensive programs, which was an activity in the past period. In the period, is there any question? Is there any question? No? Is there a question?
No, it's something.
Okay. So the old Erasmus period from 2007 to 2014 had this activity Erasmus intensive programs. And a lot of your universities, which are from program countries, participated in one way or another. The main difference is that at that time these were like projects. So you apply for a project. You receive all the money for everybody, and you do all the activities, transport, accommodation, organization, everything. So now it's very, very different. And you can take information from the guide of the respective year, but also they issue to one kind of additional guide, higher education mobility handbook. And it is for the year 2021, but there is no other edition, so you can use it as information if you want to plan such an activity. It is in line with the new activity, which is short term for Erasmus, which is different for doctoral students and for other students. Doctoral students, this is just a comparative slide between the two, but later on we will discuss this, so I'm not going to stop here. In any case, this is a new activities for students and PhD students, which is minimum 5 days, maximum 30 days. You can encourage your students to participate in it, especially PhD students. Because for PhD students it is only physical mobility, they can use it just to go somewhere. We will discuss this a little bit later. So, blended intensive program has a kind of structure. So this is the structure. The structure is minimum 3 universities. It means includes the university which is the home university, which is the host university. So, Cvetomira said that they were one university and 3 others. So you can have more universities, but the minimum is 3. Minimum. You can have 4 or 5, like in their case, there were more than 3 universities in Alba Iulia. So you must have minimum 3 program countries. This could be European Union or Macedonia, Serbia, they must be programs. So now they are using another terminology in the new guide. They say third countries associated, so they say European Union and third countries associated with the program, but the easiest way is to call them program countries. And then another structure is minimum funded participants from program countries. What this means we will see later. So this is a very interesting phrase, minimum 15 funded from program. It was difficult for me to understand. You will see why. And it must have a compulsory virtual component, compulsory virtual. So it could be before and after. It could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 days. It is not regulated at this moment. And the question was about students from partner countries. Yes, here I answered this question. Yes, they can join, but they are not registered towards this 15 minimum. So the consortium, so to say, should have 15 minimum, and they can invite, for example, we will do one project in October 2000, this year, October, and we have invited 2 students from Kosovo to join, from graphic design, from design. They will come, hopefully they come. This is from the guide. Blended intensive programs should foster development of transnational and transdisciplinary curricula. So you should have this in mind when you consider the content. There should be some transdisciplinary element in it, and the transnational is just because the partners are from different countries. It should have some innovative ways, innovative content or innovative ways of delivering content. And at the moment there is a huge trend for digitalization. Even digitalization is kind of considered new way of teaching. It could be some traditional subject, but because you are trying to adapt it to a new digital way, it could fall under this description. It is meant to encourage online collaboration, which is we have to get accustomed to it because of this is European policy at the moment, although it is very difficult for some people. And it should involve research-based learning in some way. So this is, we are humanitarian university. For us, research-based would be just to give some project to the students based on the title of the program, and they just do some research how this is done. So different styles of architecture, for example, in different countries. This is simple research, so this is not PhD research, this is not scientific research on a high level. So this is a new opportunity, and especially the last sentence relates to the fact that now they are trying to reach to new audience that normally does not participate in Erasmus. So normally they cannot, for one reason or another, be absent for one semester. And they're trying to address all these challenges with this new initiative. So here you can see kind of comparison between PhD mobility, short-term blended mobility, which is allowed in principle, but for this slide in the middle, I have put a note at the end. So different national agencies regulate this issue in a different way. So for example, our national agency, they don't allow it at the moment. They say some procedures need to be taken so that this is allowed, and they didn't take the procedures. Okay. And the last possibility are the blended intensive programs we will talk about. So in short, what is the difference between them? So all of them are 5 to 30 days. All of them are 70 euro per day. All of them include 50 euro for green travel. We will talk about this later, what is green travel. All of them give minimum 3 ECTS. The difference between other students and doctoral students is doctoral students can have only physical mobility. All other students must have online component. For PhD students it is research. For the other mobility there are 2 possibilities. If it is individual mobility, it is in a course of the receiving university. If it is blended intensive program, it is specially designed course, specially which is funded as blended intensive program. So in the case of the first 2 activities, just 2 universities can be involved, one sending, one receiving. In the case of blended intensive programs, as we said, you need minimum 3 universities, minimum 15 participants. So it's a group activity obligatorily. So why our national agency doesn't allow this version in the middle? Because it is not well regulated. They are afraid that students will just start going out somewhere like a trip, business trip, whatever, tourism trip. Which is not correct, because if one university accepts students, they must study something. So there must be a study offer, there is a learning agreement. And in this learning agreement also the virtual component is described. But okay, so it will be regulated hopefully next year. So in a BIP, there are 3 roles. Coordinating, receiving and sending. Coordinating is the only university which receives money for the BIP, but it receives money for the organization of the BIP, not money for participants. The participants are funded by their own sending universities. So the only university which receives some money for the organization is the coordinating. So at the time you apply, your Erasmus office applies in February for funding for the European Commission, there is one line in the application which says blended intensive programs. So they have to introduce there the number of blended intensive programs they apply for. This is just it, just introduce numbers. If they want, for example, we apply for 10 for next year, so we just made 10 different lines. So you only on this line you have the number of students, and that's it. You just one number, one blended with 15 students, one blended with 20 students, one blended with 17 students. This is all. You don't apply with title, you don't apply with partners, and you don't do anything in February, because in June you understand if you are approved. And when you understand in June if you are approved, then you know that you have, okay, I apply for 10, but only 5 are approved. So I start distributing this information in our academic community. We write letters to the deans, we send information. Please, whoever wants to apply for a BIP, you must find 3 partners also. So they apply. So this year we had 3 positions, we had 5 teachers applied as coordinators, 3 were approved of these 5. The next 2 will stay for next year. So the coordinating is usually receiving, but it can be sending, and also it is allowed that it is only coordinating. So just organizing the event. The receiving is the place where students go. It is usually coordinating, but also it can be just another university from this consortium. And the sending is the university which sends students. It can be only sending, or it can be sending and coordinating at the same time. And other universities may join after this BIP is developed. So I now have observed 2 universities which their proposal for BIP failed. They approach me, I find a help with students, but other universities don't help, or our students give up last minute, and okay, so this is why if you want to be coordinating, my advice is just make this interinstitutional agreement. It is signed by the rectors, so they are obliged to provide the students. Because if you are coordinating and you must have 15 students and you do all the organization, you pay for dinners, for whatever you pay for these wonderful textbooks, for example, you can see in this program, and then no 15 come, 14 come. It's illegitimate. You cannot use the funding. You have to give back the funding. Yes? So this is why it's good to have interinstitutional agreement. And the main topics are the title, are they students or staff, the title, the objectives, the learning method. So this is information which afterwards the coordinating institution registers this program in their online platform, in beneficiary module. So these are just the same things that they have to register, they have to be in the agreement between the universities. And so the funding, as I told you, only the coordinating gets funding. It is 400 euro per participant, but it depends on the type of participant. So if the BIP is for students, 400 euro per student. If it is for staff, 400 per staff. If it is for student, the staff doesn't count. Okay, they're just kind of enjoying themselves, standing and joking. We will talk about this.
Using their Erasmus budgets, the staff in this case?
The money that the coordinating institution receives are only for organizational costs. What means dinners, museums, materials, textbooks, work of the staff that are working. So this is the funding is only for this. The receiving institution doesn't receive any money at all. This is why usually it is coordinating. But I have told our partners, if anybody wants to come here, I will help them to organize a week here. We don't need to receive funding for this. Sending universities, they use money, but not money from the BIP program. They use money from their general student and staff budgets. So this is why participants K171, they can attend these projects, but they can only attend a project of a partner where they have approved project. So for example, now we have with you a project, it is approved, and so if we have a BIP in, it's a business faculty in your case, so if our business faculty, they organize a BIP, they can decide to invite two students from your university. They will be funded from the project that we have, K171. It is even easier because with the money for one student, we can fund 3 students, but it depends on the capacity of the coordinators, how many extra they can accept. So the participants, minimum 15 funded, it is they must be participants from abroad. So normally in the program you have maybe 20, you may have 30 participants, but only those who come from abroad count. And in the case if the BIP is for students, only the students from abroad count, and if it is for staff, only the staff from abroad count. So participants from partner countries do not count here. Also, you receive maximum for 20 participants. So if you have 50 participants, you don't receive money for all of them. You receive just for the maximum of 20. We spoke about this. Teachers are funded by K131. Students have new funding rules for students, 70 euro per day, 70 euro per day for travel, 50 euro for green travel if they use green travel. And so what is green travel? Green travel is bike, bus, train, and car, but only in the case you have more than one participant in a car. So if you come by car, this is not green travel. If you come 2 people by car, it is green travel. And then they sign a declaration and they give fuel, whatever things. And then it's the same procedure as with the normal Erasmus. There must be learning agreement, there must be mobility agreement. So some benefits. So the coordinating institution, if you are coordinating, then you can choose to be receiving, or you can choose to be sending, or just remain coordinating. You are the one in charge who develops the program, so the organizational potential of the organization is developed. The staff which works maybe receive some funding for their work, but usually this is not, because it's, although it looks like a big amount, it's not when you have a large number of people coming, because you are funding the events not only for the students but also for the teachers who come with the students. So you really have a lot of expenses. But you can define priorities and outcomes. So in the case of Alba Iulia, they decided to publish these wonderful books with their money. So the receiving university just reports more incoming mobility. So if you are a university which has problem with incoming mobility, but this is not, at the moment, BIPs cannot take place in third countries. So at the moment, they only can take place in program countries. Like Turkey, they can come to Turkey. So if you need for some accreditation, whatever reason, to have incoming mobility, just make a BIP in your university. There will be no problem for 15, 20 students to come. They will be funded by their own universities, and your Erasmus office just has to write one number, just one line in the application. It's not a project, it's just a program, yes? So it's very easy. And you have internationalization at home, which is for the receiving institution. And in principle, they are not obliged to participate, but it's a good opportunity for them to participate. So for the sending institution, they report more outgoing mobilities with less budget. So for example, money I give for one semester, with the same money I can fund 4 students. And the quality of the mobility changes because the students are exposed to more teachers from different countries, different expertise. And the teachers, they are not just going to deliver some lecture and then go back home. So the teachers must really be with the students all the time if they choose to attend this kind of program with students. So some keywords of the benefits are, this is my last slide, that long-term relationships, time efficiency, because in short time you learn more. A lower barrier to long-term, so it's a lot, usually students who go on short-term, they then want to go on long-term. And there are a lot of keywords from one workshop we did. But so it's a very useful activity. It only needs somebody who would like to use from his or her time just to organize it, because there usually must be somebody. In our university, we have only with such teachers that want to do activities for students. So you know, there are always these teachers who want to go to school, just deliver some lectures and then go back home. And however, this is us. This is an opportunity for those teachers, especially young teachers who want to work with students, to just get involved. So about the initial question about third countries like Bosnia and Kosovo and Albania, third countries, they need to check their partners from program countries if they are organizing such an event. Because they usually don't advertise it, because these students come just as an additional student. Yes, they don't receive funding, but they're always welcome. So thank you very much. And are there any questions?
I just want to announce that I spoke with my colleagues, and they said that in October this year there's going to be another BIP for staff in October. We don't know exactly the period, but it's going to be another. So maybe I'm going to share the information that's on the...
Yeah, so if anybody is from program countries or your partner, but you have an agreement with Alba Iulia, you are welcome to this issue. It was very difficult for me to collect 10 teachers and staff to go to this program, but all of them who came, those who are not here, were extremely satisfied with this event. I was almost shocked to see this feedback. I just almost like say, okay, we must send them, we must send. Oh. Okay, it was like that, but when they come back, it was really very good feedback. So now I'd like to invite Mehmet for something he has prepared especially for our program, which will take 5-10 minutes of your time. And meanwhile, if you have questions, I will just consider and answer. Do you need
May I say some words before Mehmet started with his game? It's something that he's got for us. to make us enjoy and feel comfortable and to feel relaxed. I want to ask you to take part in a small, really small interview. Someone of you who wants to do this, I don't want to choose because it will be my preference, but I don't want to do this. So if you want to say a few words for our event, just to put the interview on our website. Okay, after the game, someone else? Okay, thank you. Great, thank you very much.
Do we have to install something? Would you like to have to install?
No.
We have to open the Kahoot site?
I'll tell you.
He wants to surprise us.
I'm planning to surprise, but the thing is, I've just saved my Kahoot, but I'm trying to find it out. Just
Okay, so then
one more minute.
meanwhile,
maybe you can
are
yeah.
there any kind of questions about the blended program? So this presentation will be, you will receive a link with some of the with all the presentations. They are not so much. No, they are presentations of your universities, okay, and our presentations in coding. So you can see the text as a text. But anything that provoked you as a question, like you are wondering about it,
Okay,
any
it's
question?
ready.
No. You can ask me during the trip if you have.
Okay, hello everybody. Okay, let me see the one who has played Kahoot before. Kahoot? Okay, great. So, the thing is, it's not a professional version of Kahoot, it's a limited version. That's why I can only invite 10 of you, so maybe you can make a group of one just. So, one from Portuguese, okay? One maybe from you, and yeah, one from you, or two maybe, two. You can two. And Lithuania, one. Yes. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Germany, Heidi. Yeah. You can be a group, and Bosnia, and one another group, Egypt, and Turkey. No, you can. Just go for it. And so just let me see the groups, please. Let me just see the groups. Maybe you can go for it. Yes, please.
Oh, okay.
Please, just go for it. Just let me see the groups.
Okay.
One.
With the colleagues of
1, 2, 3, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Sylvia. 8, 9. Oh, no, you're not going to come. No. Okay, she's with you. Okay, I have some small presents. Who is going to be one of the top 3 guys, okay? So what you have to do is, for the ones who haven't played before, what you have to do is, you need to be as quick as possible, okay? Otherwise, you'll fall down. Okay.
Can you explain? We are talking, sorry.
Okay. You have to be as quick as possible to be at one of the top 3 guys, okay? So this is just, you have to be so fast. So what you need to do is just, would you please Google Kahoot on your browser, just Kahoot, then on the first link you see here, okay? There is a place here to enter the game pin, okay? Okay, here is the game pin. You see that? You see that link? Okay, okay. So here is, okay. Okay.
How many?
10. 10.
Are we?
So you are. So let me see again the groups. Okay, here is the pin. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Latvia. Germany. 5, 6, 7. We can have some more. Yes, you are in. Okay, just go for it. Artan, where have you been, my friend?
I'm late.
Okay, I'll omit your question. While you are late, okay, next time maybe. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I did a mistake, man.
Okay. So, Germany, Latvia, wow, just like Eurovision. Hey, go for it. Come on. Hey, so, who else? Spain, okay?
Spain, Indonesia.
Spain and Indonesia. Okay. Great. Egypt. Real Eurovision. Great. Okay, who else? 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay.
Yes, of course.
Is that Portuguese?
Portuguese,
And?
Romania, and Bulgaria.
Wow, 3 of you. Okay. So who else? We may have 3 more. Or maybe you can separate it, the group. No? 2? We can have 3 more. 3 more groups. Yeah, 3 more groups. Artan, come on. Go for it. Artan.
That's 4 answers and 1 is
So, 2, 4, 6, 7. We may have 3 more.
it's maybe points.
Artan,
I organize.
are you going to?
I'm late, I want to get
No, I'm just joking. Okay.
Yes.
Why don't you take a picture? Okay. Who else is done? Okay. Difficult? No, it's not. It's not. No, we haven't started. I'm going to tell you when we start. Okay. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. One more group we can have. We may have one more group. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Is that okay?
Now it's okay, let's go.
You can. Yes, that's it. Ready? Okay, so we're going to start now.
Mehmet, wait a bit.
Okay. No. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
No music?
The problem. Yes.
Great. Artan? Who said false?
You mustn't hear this.
Wow, great. Last question is this one. Come here on the stage, the top three. Okay. Who is number three? Number three. Take a picture, please. Take a picture. Okay, here is your. You have to share this USB stick. From the organizing committee. And the okay, congratulations. Number two. Okay?
Give our present to somebody else.
Yes, take a picture. Yes? Yes. Okay. And? Thank you. Okay. Number one. Okay, congratulations. And then we can look at present from the key holders from Trakya University for the fourth and fifth. Let me just check the podium from here. Who is number four? Number four is, do you know? Number four here? No, I'll tell you, okay? Number three is Arkan and DIH. This is for Arkan and DIH. Both DIH. Who is Aslı? Ah, great. Arkan. My best friend. My best friend. Yes. That's all. You like it?